My daughters are not, I had to be very vigilant or trying to teach them. It was like my mother, my mother is so deeply, so she would say things like to my 15-year-old, she would say things like, "Oh, Miss America, here she comes. Oh, look at," and then she would say things like, "Oh, look at Zachary's hair. Oh, he's just so gorgeous. Look at it." And it was
Wow.
and I had to say, I said, "Listen, you're going to need to cut that out or you won't see them. Understand that it's that serious to me. That's divestment. That's divestment.
Your own mama. Y'all hear that?
You have to be willing to."
If it's one thing that infuriates me is when mothers tear down their own daughters, or not even just tear down, right? But mothers who will steal the compliments from their own children because of their own insecurities. I don't care what your background is, what your race is. That is absolutely disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. If you have children and you don't want them to get compliments and be treated like a superstar, you're going to have to cut that out. And I've seen this with every race. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you have mixed children or not. I have seen women who their son will get a compliment and they'll be like, "He's not all that." And those people are the same race as their kids. So I know this happens across the board. But when it comes to my people, it makes me exceptionally mad because I see myself in that. Like, I have been around people who are monoracial who, when I would get a compliment, they'll be like, "Don't big up her head. Don't make her think she's all that." Why would you sit there and go have children with another race and then be like, "Don't make them think that they're better"? How about you uplift other kids who are monoracial, not monoracial too? You don't just have to lift up one. But if someone wants to give a child a compliment, it is actually sickening to sit there and take that away from that child because of your own insecurities. "I don't want her to think she's better." What? Her self-esteem has nothing to do with you. Maybe you should think that you're better. Maybe you should love yourself enough to when someone else thinks they're better, it does not bother you. It's actually sick. Like, I'm so sick of seeing this. And I see this, like, I've dealt with this with my own mother. And my mother's white. And I've dealt with that with her. Anytime I would get a compliment, "Oh my God, they're always complimenting you. It must be your eyes. It must be your hair. It must be like y'all think y'all are so cute." It was insufferable to deal with that. Like, I feel so much empathy for her children because I dealt with that and I know how it feels to constantly, every time someone compliments you, have someone interject and just have to run their damn mouth. Why do you care so much? It's not my fault or anyone's fault, no matter what your race is, because I have friends and sisters who are a different race than me, and they went through the same thing with their mothers. I don't want to give too many details because I don't want to put other people's business out there, but I know someone whose mother is mixed race, and their daughter is Griff, which is like a biracial mother and a black father, and she did the same thing. Anytime her daughter got a compliment, had to interject, had to make it about her. Stop having children if this is what you're gonna do. Like, it's actually disgusting. Like, for the love of God, your insecurities are not your children's problem. They're really just not. And if you have these insecurities, you shouldn't be creating children that you're going to be jealous of and not want them to receive compliments and be praised by others. Because that should, like, kids should get compliments. Kids should be filled with love and be called superstar. Like, they should be called, "Oh, look at this little supermodel." Nothing inappropriate, anything like that, but they should be uplifted because kids need validation at an early age so that they have a good sense of self, because when they get to school, kids are gonna bully them. You know why? Because kids have all different issues. They're jealous, they have a crush on you, any kind of thing. Why a kid will bully, right? They just want to play around. But certain kids are going to take that to heart if they're not poured into at home. That is your job. And the fact that you are telling your own mother to not do that to them when you know kids need that kind of validation is actually sickening. I'm so sick of seeing mothers like this. This is just one of many. Like, I have seen so many. It doesn't matter the race, nothing. It just is so infuriating. And especially someone who's dealt with that firsthand. Oh my goodness, like, I cannot stand it. Grow up. No one owes you, like, what? Who even says that? Like, oh my goodness, my child is getting compliments. I'm gonna cut that out right there. I don't want them thinking they're better. Do you hear yourself speak? You care more about your child. You care more about your own confidence and how you feel than your child's. A child can be called beautiful, be uplifted, be called a runway model or a beauty queen, whatever, and not feel like they're better than people. Even though who the hell cares if they feel like they're better than people? Who cares? Who cares if they feel like they're better than people? You should love yourself more first, and then you can give out love freely. Because when you love yourself, you're not going to go around hating on other people. And you're not going to feel the need to put it in everyone's face. You're just going to love yourself. It's that simple. And these same type of women will be the ones crying, complaining, well, my mother never called me pretty. She never talked about me like that. So then you're going to take that away from your daughter? And if it's the whole issue when it comes to like race or whatever, because I dealt with that with my own mother, where it's like her talking about me getting all these compliments because I was biracial. And again, she's white. And I'm multiracial, whatever. My dad's mixed. But she would say that all the time. Like, oh, you get all these compliments for being mixed. I wish I was mixed. All that disgusting stuff that I don't like to hear. Okay? But she would say that, right? And it's my thing. It's like, why didn't you have children with a white man so that you can create white children and give them the compliments that you never received? Why go out of your way to have children with another race, especially someone who's already mixed race, and then when that child gets compliments, you're going to be upset about it? What sense does that make? Be the change you so desperately wanted as a child. Don't sit there and put that on the mixed race person. I just don't get it. It's infuriating. Your child shouldn't have to lack compliments because you didn't receive them or because you are so afraid that they'll think they're better. You're at home, so you teach your child, hey, you can receive compliments and think you're beautiful and love yourself and still pour love and light into the world. My dad and my family, they complimented me. Like, I got a lot of compliments throughout my entire life, and I still pour love and light into the world. It's that simple. I hate seeing this. And I know what happens to every single girl. And I see a lot of, like, people from different backgrounds. It doesn't matter. Come in here and say how their mothers treated them just like this anytime they got a compliment. Because, you know, they didn't want them to think they were better than them, which is a form of jealousy. That's weird. Who cares if someone thinks they're better than you? As long as they're not bullying someone. I think that everyone should love themselves more than they love anything else besides their children, because it's like, why wouldn't you? It's you. You have to live with yourself every single day. You need to love yourself thoroughly. Then you can pour love into others. Think of the analogy of the cup overflowing with love. That's what I view self-love as. And I cannot fathom how these people don't see this as insecurity. They don't see it as, it's going to be so damaging for the child. Like, it's so damaging for the child. And I've seen, like, a lot of creators, like, again, I said, of different races, right? Different backgrounds. And their moms would just, like, steal their compliments. Who does that to a child? Or cut their hair because, you know, I don't want them caring more about looks than school. Their looks are a part of their identity. They should care about their looks and school. This is actually insane. And something needs to shift because it's too many stories of mothers doing stuff like this. This is just like one. Like, I'm not saying she like did all that crazy stuff like cutting her kid's hair. But this taking the compliments from the child, that's more damaging than people realize. Because people in general, but children specifically, especially at the age of 15, need compliments. They need that to like have a strong core foundation of knowing they're beautiful. You know what I mean? And to try to deny them a relationship with their grandparent because of your insecurities around how that child will perceive themselves is actual insanity. And I hope this woman has sought therapy. And I hope that child has sought therapy because it's astonishing to me. Like, it really is.